Okay, I think I'm live. It's slow going on Facebook these days. Hey guys, so what I wanted to talk to you about is this is my part two of this series I'm doing about, the masks that we wear, the facades we put on to protect ourselves, right? And what I've realized is that women especially, and I can speak to this because I've worked with so many women in my career, have these different masks that they use. And the mask I talked about first on Monday was this mask that I call the Weary Warrior. Today what we're going to talk about is this mask called the wallflower. And the wallflower is a woman who is self-sacrificing. And she has been silenced and hushed and victimized. And she hides herself because she's afraid to be seen. She's protecting herself by hiding. And so we're going to talk about that today. So my name is Jennifer Luddington. I'm a high-performance mindset and health coach, and I really love helping people generate their own power so that they can stop blowing up their life and start blowing up their beliefs, the ones that are holding them back. And so I love working with those high-performing, driven women, maybe the women that wear the Weary Warrior mask, and that haven't really tapped into that femininity, that vulnerability, that authenticity of being seen. I also love working with that woman who maybe is just like the wallflower, like we're going to talk about today, who is still really wanting to go after it in life and has all these dreams and hopes and goals, but her confidence has been shaken, right? Or her voice has been silenced. And I love working with those two types of women. So if you are one of those two types of women, you're going to want to lean into this today because I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 2 tips in order to get and remove that mask, right? So this is the thing, you guys. A lot of people might see me as someone who has never been a wallflower, and that's really untrue. In fact, I was a wallflower for a very long time, especially for the first part of when I was married years ago to my ex-husband. And what happened to me was, it was an incremental thing, but I was traumatized in our marriage, and I felt like I was slowly being silenced and quieted, and that my voice didn't matter, and I felt unworthy, and I felt like nothing I said had any valid points to be taken by anybody. I felt like no matter what I said, it didn't matter, and that it was stupid, and that it really shook my confidence. And it was incremental, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was slowly becoming a wallflower. I was allowing my fear of my voice being out there and it not being important enough or good enough. And I was allowing that to silence me and to stifle me and to stop me from really living into my purpose. And I felt like I was suffocating. And because I felt like I was suffocating, I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe life into anything. And so I had to retract and retreat and quiet my voice because I was ridiculed for what came out of my voice and what came out of my mouth, and not my voice, but what came out of my mouth. I was ridiculed. And this slow incremental process really broke me down. And I became self-sacrificing, right? I put everyone's needs before mine. And I almost became a doormat to the person in my life that was supposed to love me, and I was supposed to love. And, day after day, year after year of that happening, my confidence started to shrink and flatten. And I was a doormat. And I allowed myself to be victimized because I lost my ability to believe in my own voice. And so I pulled myself up against that wall and tried to blend in, tried to dim myself down, tried to quiet everything down, even though I had all this stuff inside of me that I couldn't feel like getting out because I was so afraid of being shushed, silenced, ridiculed, made fun of, told I wasn't smart or that was stupid. And it became my MO. And my confidence flattened. And so the thing here is that, we can wear all these different masks. Right, and I've worn a lot. I've worn these 3 masks at some point in my life. And I had to work through how to solve that, how to move through that, how to manage my mind. And after doing this for the past 15 years and working with all of these women and men, but mostly women that I've seen wear these masks, I can spot it a mile away. But the greatest thing for me is when I see a woman who has lost her backbone and has become a doormat and doesn't want to be and has so much life and purpose inside of her, and pull that out and get rid of all those lies so that she can start living into her purpose. That's my jam. And I learned how to do that. And the first step to doing that, I don't want to take up a ton of your time because I do want to do another one of these on Monday, the third mask. But this mask is really, really interesting because we don't feel safe. And we feel like in order for us to use our voice, because we've been victimized in some way or traumatized in some way, and sometimes it's physical, sometimes emotional, whatever that looks like for you, because we can't use our voice in a safe way, we never use it. So the first step is to become aware of like, okay, what mask am I wearing, right now? And if this is you and you are a wallflower and this is the mask that you put on, the self-protection, self-sacrificing mask that you're wearing, this facade to protect you from harm or being hurt, then the first step is to understand that. The second step is to understand and create safety. And creating safety is super important here. Because when we're safe, we can start to use our voice. And so what I coach women in, what I'll share with you here is once you create safety with someone, somebody, some other human being, some community, you start to create evidence that when you use your voice, it's encouraged. And it's almost amplified instead of hushed and silenced and shamed. So if you can create safety and evidence that when your voice is heard, when you stand out and you allow yourself to be seen, that you're not going to be ridiculed, that your voice matters and that you have good ideas and things to share with the world, you start to build that evidence one thing after another, slowly and incrementally over time. You start to get up off of the doormat and you start to grow back your spine and you start to allow yourself to be seen, and you incrementally do this time after time. And the second part of this, and what I've created in my 21-day values to vision challenge, we're running this challenge right now, is creating this area in safety and security for these women. And this is a women's only group, right? So that there is an ability, there's a safe environment for them to share their voice, speak out, amplify it, and grow confidence and the evidence that it's not going to be harshly put down, that you're not going to be told you're stupid or it doesn't make sense or that doesn't matter or that it's weird or whatever it is that you're telling yourself that might happen. And instead to be encouraged. And step by step, that evidence grows. The key here is you have to have a safe community. And listen, you guys, right now there might be some of you that don't have a safe community. I didn't at one point in my life. And if that's you, I want you to know that I'm creating safe communities right now of women that are supporting each other, that are loving each other, that are accepting and non-judgmental. And that's what I've done in this challenge. So listen, if the first step is working for you and you need to find a secure, safe environment and you don't know where to look, reach out to me. I'm starting this next challenge on November 2nd, and you can join now, or you can hold your spot, whatever you want to do. But I'm inviting this to women only to come in and have a safe community so that they can go through these processes that I outline in my group to start to grow the evidence and to grow that foundational base of confidence and security so that you can build up off that foundation and ascend. See, I have my shirt on today. My She Ascends shirt. Isn't that cool? All right, guys, like I said, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but I wanted to share these masks with you. So mask number 1, part 1 is Weary Warrior. You can go and look at that on my Instagram or Facebook. Number 2 is this mask, this wallflower, where we try to blend in to protect ourselves from being victimized. And that's definitely one that a lot of women can resonate, I know, with. And then I'm going to share a third one with you. I'm going to post about it over the weekend, and then I'll share with you on a video on Monday. Okay? All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great day. If you're interested in finding out more about what I do and where you can find me all over Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Jennifer Luddington and jenniferluddington.com. All right, guys. Have a great Friday. Take off your mask. Be courageous enough to look underneath it. Bye.